If you're trying to build an ambitious solution to tackle the climate crisis, don't try to do it alone. Seabound is a climate tech startup based in London at a makerspace called Bloqs, and we build carbon capture equipment specifically for ships. Our mission is to tackle the climate crisis by decarbonizing the shipping industry. We first arrived at Bloqs because we were looking for high ceiling space to build our equipment, but we actually soon pulled our equipment out of the warehouse and started building it outside. And so we no longer needed the high ceiling space. And so the reason that we stayed was because of the community and because of how incredibly helpful they've all been. We designed almost all of our equipment at Bloqs.
You can think about the carbonator as a filter that sucks up the CO2 from the exhaust that goes through the filter. Technically, we can capture up to 95% of the emissions from the ship and store that on the ship.
The relationship with other people at Bloqs has been really instrumental for us at Seabound. Bloqs is an example where you don't need to make a 5-year commitment, you don't need to pay for a really expensive lease. Instead, you could come for a month, you can come for a day if you wanted to try a mini project. You can get support from others, whether they be Bloqs technicians or other members of the community. It's a really quirky and nourishing and fun group of people to be a part of. We've kind of stuck around for many reasons that we weren't originally looking for when we were searching for space. At least for me personally, I feel a sense of climate anxiety or angst or grief relatively often, and the best action that I could take is to try to build a venture-backed startup to tackle one of these hard-to-abate sectors.
It's sort of a special time because we're currently installing our first carbon capture system on a ship, and so most of our team is in Turkey working on that installation.
Up until the summer, we've done primarily land-based building and testing and prototyping, and now is the first time that we're actually seeing how our equipment will fare in its real environment. If the shipping industry doesn't figure out how to reduce its CO2 emissions, then the world can't meet any of its global targets. And so we're trying to tackle one of the unsolved problems, essentially, within meeting the Paris Agreement overall.